Homosexuality and Bisexuality in Tradition by Alain Danielou. Because they evoke the primordial hermaphrodite, any sexually ambiguous being is of a sacred nature, whether they are physically or only instinctually intersexual. Every bisexual being can be considered as an emanation of the God's transcendent aspect. The hermaphrodite, the homosexual, and the transvestite thus have a symbolic value and are deemed to be privileged beings, images of the Adranahari Ishvara. By virtue of this, they are considered to bring good luck and play a special role in magic and tantric rites, as also in shamanism. This magical aspect of intersexuality is found in all ancient civilizations. In ancient literature, groups of transvestite prostitutes united around a guru had an acknowledged place in society. Transvestite prostitutes are still found in most Indian villages, where they are regarded with contempt as well as respect. In the popular theater shows of the Rama Leela and the Krishna Leela, they are traditionally the ones who act the part of the goddesses and the shepherdesses. The presence of a transvestite prostitute is still considered auspicious, particularly at a marriage ceremony. Among the shamans, divinatory powers are connected with bisexuality. The final aim of Tantrism is to reunite the two polar principles, Shiva and Shakti, in our own bodies. Initiatic androgyny is not always marked by an operation, as among the Australians. In many cases, it is hinted at by dressing the boys as girls and vice versa, the girls as boys. Homosexual practices, witnessed in various initiatic ceremonies, can probably be explained by a similar belief, i.e., that the neophytes, during their initiatic instruction, embody both sexes. Divine androgyny can be evoked as a sadhana, a method of spiritual realization. Some mystics seek to unite with the god they worship by becoming a woman, dressing and living as such. This was the case at the beginning of the 20th century of Ramakrishna, who founded a religious order that bears his name. A great number of wandering monks who transmit magic powers are recruited from among those marked with the seal of the hermaphrodite, who by nature are not inclined to procreation. Being outside the caste system, they act as a bond between the various levels of society. A companion disciple who is both lover and servant often accompanies such monks. As seen by Shaivism, homosexuality is a constant that can be observed in any society. It is part of the reality of the created world, and is thus a manifestation of one aspect of the divine. Shiva's son, Skanda, is opposed to marriage and has no other spouse than the army. He is the male deity worshipped by homosexuals and transvestites, who go in crowds on pilgrimage to his sanctuary. In traditional society, sexual practices among young people, what is known as schoolboy eroticism, langa dost in Hindi, are looked upon benevolently. Purification rites are practiced as after any sexual act. In the social ethics derived from Jainism, however, homosexuality is viewed as deviance. This contrast continues in Indian society down to our own times. India is both the land of the Kama Sutra, of erotic temple sculptures, and of the most exacerbated Puritanism. Recent invaders, the Muslims, then the British, have considerably accentuated this latter aspect. In modern society, despite that extreme Puritanism displayed by the anglicized governing class, homosexual practices traditionally present no problem, except for persons with sacerdotal functions who are ritually forbidden to practice oral sex. Furthermore, for everyone, purification rites are obligatory after any sexual act, which is something that foreigners do not always understand.